Hey YouTube, welcome back to the Hangar Garage. We have another episode.
This is the improvisational jazz segment of Breaktime.
Skibbity bop?
Yeah, it's gonna get weird after this. Hey YouTube, welcome to the Hangar Garage and another episode of Breaktime where we're discussing the phases of our new project car, Ugly Betty. Now we have phase 1 defined, which is essentially rip everything out, electrical, as much as possible, and we're going to discuss in this episode phases 2, 3, 4, and final phases. There may be more than 4 or 5 or whatever.
Who knows?
Yeah, we honestly don't know, but we're going to try to map that out for you guys, so as we go through this process, you guys have an idea of what we're looking to accomplish.
Like any phase, project phase, right? You don't really know what you're going to do yet, right? There's lots of ideas floating around, and we've refrained from trying to have too much conversation around it so that you can catch what's in our head.
Which is really, really hard. When you're sitting on a gem like this, it is. I've lost sleep over this.
I was just going to say, I probably haven't slept in 3 days. So,
Well, we haven't stripped it down. We don't know if it's a gem. There could be some hidden surprises.
I hope there are hidden. There have to be hidden surprises.
Based on the electrical work that we've seen, guaranteed to be hidden surprises.
Yeah.
And spray foam.
And spray foam.
Well, we know there's spray foam.
Yeah, that's like gold right there.
We know there's spray foam.
So, for those of you who are new to the channel, thank you so much for watching. We're referring to Project Ugly Betty, as she's been dubbed, which is originally a 2000 BMW 323 Ci that has some history. Hit the link above for video on when we revealed that and go through some of the background on it.
We'll also put it in the description below as well.
So, as they've said, phase 1
Clean it up.
is the teardown, is the cleanup. It's the essentially stripping it down to bare metal.
Yep.
I mean, we have to undo many years of.
Probably the best way to say it. Undo the bad stuff.
We have to undo many years of questionable modifications.
Yes.
And upgrades.
So phase 1 is for sure stripping it down. Would we also include in that phase fixing all the bad welds?
Yes. Yes.
In that phase?
Definitely.
Well, that's like phase 1B, right?
1.5. It's like,
there will always be bad welds to fix.
Hey, now.
Well, he's saying
No, throughout the project, there will be welds to
we're
fix.
going to find welds that we didn't even know about. No, I don't think so.
Might have that.
Well, we have in the engine bay, and we have in the trunk,
Yep.
and then we have the exhaust.
Well, exhaust
Exhaust
is
ain't
actually
bad.
fine.
No, it's not bad, but it's not great.
I wouldn't touch that.
Dude,
but
you did pull-ups on the exhaust.
The exhaust is the strongest part
Yeah.
of that
Oh, that's
entire
right. That's a good
yeah,
point.
recall that.
That's a good point.
I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with the notched frame that was reversed in booger welded together with big holes that I put my hand in. Like
The welds were
No,
so questionable.
we are going to have to redo the frame because he welded it to that wheel well. He welded it to the. No, he screwed it into the. Did he screw it or weld it into the wheel into that?
he
reverse?
just riveted the rear.
He riveted. So he
No,
cut,
but
he cut the spare tub out,
Right.
flipped it upside down, riveted it around.
I'm talking
and
about
then filled in spray foam.
I'm talking about the exhaust, the hangers.
Oh, that was he just
was
did
that
some,
screwed or was
Yes,
that?
those are just zip screwed into
Yeah,
the
he just
into the
zip
belly
screwed
pan
it
of the
right
trunk.
into
I
So
remember.
if you take the floor mat out of there and put your hand down in the wrong spot, you're walking away with tetanus.
Yes, I would agree. If we want to do that nice and do at some point, that would be a nice thing to clean up.
Essentially, weld some nuts to it and then screw the exhaust into it or whatever.
I like that. Yes,
Some kind of something
a real
else.
hanger system to it.
Essentially, we're going to have to. I mean, if we're talking, let's talk about it back to front then, since we've already
Yeah.
started in the ass end of the car. the spare tub has got to be completely taken out, right?
Agreed.
At this
no more
point,
spray foam in a car.
at this point,
No.
because the
Not
shape
great.
of the spare tub is
sucks
like
in water
this,
and then rust.
that's why there's spray foam, right? So he flipped it upside down, but because the base of the tub,
Yeah, it's
as it sits
kinda
normally,
crappy.
is smaller than the top of the tub, it doesn't actually fit.
not
So
fit.
we're going to have
Yeah.
to put some sheet metal in there, probably bead roll it to give it some strength.
Yep. I would
That
agree
will
with
be the proper way to take care of that. What he did worked?
But-
question mark?
But we'll do a little metal working,
I'm
metal
not sure
forming
he
and
had an
welding.
engine long enough to ever really figure out if it worked.
Do you know
don't
why
know.
that is?
Well,
Can I explain the technical reasons of why this is probably likely?
Can I take my guess?
Yeah.
Okay, so we all saw the electrical near the gas pump, which is horrendous and luckily
it's pretty scary. Like
So-
straight
so
up.
scary.
So those of you that are familiar with boosted vehicles, cars with turbos, superchargers,
Of which this had 2.
lots of boost, right? Their engines,
Two turbos.
to have that engine live and survive, you have to control knock, timing, fuel.
Yep.
Right? If you're running low
Fuel.
on fuel, you're going to have problems. Based on that, you may need to make sure that your fuel system is adequate. This system, from a wiring perspective, not adequate.
Not adequate. It
Probably-
it was for sure shorting. Like for
Correct.
sure.
Correct. The gauge of wire wrong, and the fact that it's been spliced 16 times on the way to the fuel pump is probably also not.
You call it
Good.
splice, yeah. It's like cut and then wrapped.
a gentle-
finger wrapped at the gas pump.
A gen-
Finger wrapped at the gas pump.
With a little
Not-
extra tape. Yeah.
Like no,
Gentle
there was,
little
there was
piece of
parts that had
electrical
zero
tape.
electric tape on them.
So that's problem one. The second problem is
The engine problem is
So
what he's about to talk
if you follow that line from the tank all the way to the front of the vehicle, it is a plastic line from the factory.
Right.
Is what he utilized all the way from the tank to the
Nice
front
Not, still not
to
enough
the
fuel.
to
yeah.
the fire. Yeah, not big enough
No.
for one, and it gets
Right.
worse though
Oh, there's more.
because it goes plastic all the way to the firewall, and that's where he decided braided AN lines from there on out.
Yeah, we saw that. Yeah.
Right, but
Looks great.
But usually you do that with like fittings. And his is essentially braided AN line, like rubber braided AN line that's like coated in the AN metal braided stuff. Mm-hmm. Put over rubber over plastic line with a hose clamp. If you think how much pressure you need to have to make sure that that seals, what is the likelihood of taking that plastic line and just smushing it closed?
Oh, for sure.
Basically guaranteed.
Yeah, 100%.
So you had a line that probably wasn't big enough to begin with.
No.
That is now probably pinched close.
Finished close.
Plus all the shorts.
Yeah.
Well, so yeah, the pump
So
probably
definitely
wasn't
run your
work-
5.0 Mustang motor with twin turbos.
With as
with
little
that fuel
fuel
system.
as possible.
Yeah.
So the pump probably wasn't getting all the voltage it needed to actually run appropriately. But even when it wasn't given an adequate channel to funnel that fuel
I'm actually
through.
I'm actually a little shocked that it would idle.
No, idling would have been fine. That's your lowest fuel requirement.
I know, but even
It's when he was
I'm
trying
a
to
little
run it,
shocked
so
that even idle with the electric work, and then based on that,
I can only imagine it
yeah,
went lean a lot.
it's still drawing.
Yeah.
Even idle.
But who knows? So
No,
anyway.
no,
We don't know.
Remember we found that sheet that said idle was a problem?
Yeah, and it died
Actually?
at stoplights
Yeah.
and lots of
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
And surging and weird stuff.
yeah.
But anyway, phase one, clean up the bad.
It's
Right.
We're gonna have to gut all the wiring.
All the wiring's coming
All
out.
of the wiring's gonna have to
Some of
go.
the seats
We should
make it easier to work in.
we
Oh
want to
yeah, the seat's gonna come out. The
Pull
carpet's gonna come out.
yeah, to work on it, 'cause
carpet,
we're
door
probably
panels
gonna have
are
to
gonna
cut the
come
paint. Like likelihood, depending on what we decide in phase two, right? We may have to cut into the trans tunnel and stuff anyway. So
Sure.
let's gut that stuff, figure it out, clean it up, mark the wiring that we want to keep, right? Like we know we're gonna keep power windows and power locks and headlights. Like at least mark those types of wiring so we can get it working again
And then paint the engine bay gold.
and paint the engine bay. So
As an homage. Don't get ahead of. We can't get ahead of ourselves though.
That's
We'll
stage
talk
one.
about
It's
that.
the
in a moment.
most important part of stage
Okay.
one. Gold engine bay.
so let's get to phase two. 'cause
I'm
that's
in with you. I'm in with Rob.
See?
right.
Rob is right. Needs to
Phase
be gold and blue all the way.
Gold.
like Subies,
okay, Michigan.
like Rally Subies.
Okay,
How dare you,
I
sir?
don't know
This
about
is
the
a
blue, but
BMW.
gold I'm good.
it is. Anyway,
That's why it's glorious.
phase one, clean it up. Let's
Yeah.
get to phase two because that's where
Phase
the
two.
fun
is-
stuff is.
that is
What
the
are we?
best
What is our plan for the car? What do we
All right,
really
so
want to do? With
I think it's pretty safe to say we're all in agreement. LS swap.
Yes.
So
yes.
obviously it needs a motor and trans, right? Manual trans, automatic trans, LS, 2JZ, BMW motor.
No. LS.
Right? What do we want to do?
LS.
VTEC, Honda.
VTEC Honda K motor.
You
Right?
shut
2-liter.
your mouth.
No,
You shut your mouth when you're talking.
it was discussed. Maybe really briefly, just move it around the garage. A little
Rotary?
Predator motor from Harbor Freight, just to be able to move it around real quick.
You know what?
I can just get in and move it. That's fine. I can.
But we'll
We,
just have
we
it-
got the Flintstone motor
Okay,
here.
so LS.
Yes.
I think we're all on board
it's
with
the
the
most
LS.
cost efficient, easiest to modify, parts available everywhere.
You can find
It
them
can
cheap.
withstand a S ton of horsepower.
You can find them cheap. there's probably better aftermarket support for the LS platform than
There's a ton
any
right now.
other
Oh, yeah.
engine.
So, yes.
And to your
I'd
point,
agree.
Hot Rod Garage has proven that
Yes.
stock internals and bottom end on a 5.3 can handle 1,500 horsepower at least for one run.
Hey, that's all we need, one run. I mean, there's
Yes.
$400 at a junkyard. You just keep going. No, so let's bring us to, okay, LS1 is decided, right?
Yeah.
Phase 2 will have an LS. Next question,
Of some form.
will it be an iron block or will it be an aluminum block? Will it be a 4.8, a 5.3, a 6.0, a 6.2?
So
or a
the
7.0?
the only way.
Okay.
Okay.
I like
Dreaming
it.
here.
I like it.
This is the big
Attaboy.
thinker. But
LS7. All
so-
aluminum, 500.
so whether it's aluminum or iron, I think kind of is going to depend on where we take it after that. Right. So
I really want aluminum only because I want it to be as close to factory weight distribution and weight as it originally was. So I get to
actually
not
care
add weight,
less- I
but
actually
add
care less
horsepower.
about that, because even at its best, the E46 coupe platform was doing like 300 to 330, I think, horsepower on the M3 and the S54 engine.
Sounds
But
right.
that
330,
but that wasn't
somewhere
an M3, was it?
340. No, that was its
Yeah, 330
peak.
was
at
it was
its
an M
peak.
was
Yeah,
an
yeah.
M3.
Gotcha.
pinnacle
Yes.
of that
For
chassis.
that
Right.
platform,
Right.
that
Okay.
was
From the
it.
factory.
I misunderstood.
I mean,
I thought you were talking about that specific car.
No, it was 323. That was, I don't know, I want to say 160 horse maybe on a good day,
Plenty.
right?
Tons.
So
It's not how much horsepower you have; it's how fun it is to drive,
So
right? Miata owners.
I'm shooting for, let's try to find an aluminum motor if we can. Whether it's a 5.3 or a 6.0 or a 6.2.
6.2.
I think we try to find aluminum if we can. As
see, I
long as it
don't-
doesn't get too
I
expensive.
agree with that. Honestly,
I don't hate
All right, so here's
an
the
iron
thing
block,
about
but
that.
I don't
Here's the thing about that.
also
If-
not opposed.
let's-
Like
I think it makes sense to shoot for an aluminum block.
Yep.
Because if, we're weeks or months into the search and we haven't found one that tickles our fancy yet, then hell, we just head down to LKQ, we shoot a great video for you guys, and rip an iron block out of a Traverse or something.
And we'll just
Or
call it
not
Plan B.
Traverse, like a Trailblazer,
Right.
sorry.
yeah,
Nice
Envoy.
V6 out of a Traverse.
Yukon.
Who doesn't want that?
Yeah.
Terrible.
So
Yeah, just something
Yeah.
simple. We yank that out and we call it a day. We
Yep.
slap her in.
Yep,
I mean,
sure.
Yep.
I think it makes sense to shoot for an aluminum block.
okay.
Fair enough.
Well,
And
how's that
it's-
saying go? Reach for the stars. Even if you miss, you'll still land on the moon.
Sure.
Sounds good.
So on that same note,
I hate you.
So
Where's the inspirational poster on
we're
the
looking
walls?
for an aluminum block, and on that same
Yeah.
note, you can do a 5.3 aluminum all the way up to a 6.2, all the way up to a 7-liter technically.
That's where we
Right.
want to be.
A 7-liter.
I mean,
I know
yeah, but
that.
the odds
I
of
know.
getting
I
a
don't.
7 liter
I don't know if
so
I want to
rare.
spend that kind of dollar.
So,
but I can, but
interestingly,
6.2s
so-
were in trucks,
They're
Cadillacs,
all over.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're super
and
easy.
Camaros and
No,
Corvettes. Right?
Yeah.
They were in a lot of vehicles.
Yeah.
the most
Yeah.
common argument about that is that so the dimensions of the block on the exterior,
They're all the same.
it's all the same size, right? The difference is cylinder bore and rod length and
Yep.
stroke and etc. He got excited because I said stroke, but the most interesting thing about it, everyone will say that the 5.3 can handle more boost because it's got a thicker cylinder wall,
Yep.
right? Because it's lower displacement.
Yep.
Hot Rod Garage, love those guys. Shout out
Yeah.
to Freiberger
It is
and
6.0.
Lucky and Finnegan. We love you. They were able to actually determine through some extensive engine blowing up testing that your internals are going to shred themselves. Your rods are going to pretzel
Well,
before you
before
have to
the
worry
wall.
about cylinder wall thickness.
Yeah.
So,
So 6.2,
that's
here we
all
come.
largely irrelevant.
Yep.
Yeah.
So at this point, I think it really just kind of boils down to
So far we've been talking about all of these concerns as if we're going to boost.
did anyone have any doubt?
So 6.2 is what we're looking for if we can find it. Right? If we Plan B again could be an iron block. Plan B could also be an aluminum 5.3 instead of
6.2.
6.2.
Sure.
Settle for a 6 if we find a really good deal.
Oh yes,
And if we find a killer deal, settle for a 5.3 aluminum.
deal. Deal. The search begins. So next step. Do we install it first, NA, knowing that at some point we will have to redo all the exhaust and headers that were, headers back to be turbo plumbing support and basically redo all of the work if we decide to do a turbo kit.
Well, so you say all the work. Really, that's just headers.
That's a
If you think about it,
and potentially a
Granted,
radiator, intercooler,
that's
intake system.
It's all,
well, we
yeah,
still,
it's
so
all
we still,
planning
need,
ahead
we
of
still
time.
need a radiator, regardless.
Yeah,
right?
but where the fitment
Right.
of it all is.
We're adding an intercooler potentially if we go turbo, right? So the radiator's not going to change its position. I don't think significantly, based on whether we go
Probably
NA,
not.
NA
Probably
or
It'd just
or
be
boosted.
if we're gonna do it. If we know we're gonna go into it with turbos, I'd rather start with let's just do it once because we're not buying headers that fit.
Turbos.
Which
So,
begs
that's
which
what I was gonna
begs-
ask.
Do you want to
begs
do
the
one
more-
huge one? I mean, what size? I mean, if we're gonna do turbos or turbo, what size?
So that's the big philosophical question: is bigger always better,
Not
or is
necessarily because you need
two
to
better
get-
than one?
I think. Hold on. I think we're getting ahead of ourselves. We need to determine what
We're talking
what
about
do you
turbos,
want,
Rob.
What do you
How
want? Sorry, everyone. What do you want Ugly Betty to do? Do we want it to be fast?
Destroy tires.
Do you want it to be fast in a straight line?
yes.
Yep.
Overall, is that the priority? Do we want it to be able to go
All right,
around
Ugly,
corners
Ugly Betty
Well, yes.
has to
as
be
a priority?
Ugly
Maybe we
Betty
need to
has
pick
to
like
be able to.
a pinnacle that we want it to do the best.
She
I
has
don't-
to do burnouts.
Amen.
She has to do drags.
Sure.
She has to corner.
Yeah. It's gotta be a good all
But
around car.
which is the priority? I think maybe we should focus on
Burnouts.
because
drag,
burnouts is too simple
corner.
a priority.
I think you just gave them.
Yeah.
Burnouts.
So I'm gonna go with
Burnouts is the top.
it
Drag.
definitely has to be horsepower. Like I'm a horsepower freak. I always have
Yes.
been. Right.
That's fine.
If it
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
have
yeah.
600 horse, at least I'm gonna be disappointed.
Sure.
So drag.
I would basically count that a failure
Correct.
if
So,
we don't crack 600.
drag 600.
So that's the
and-
goal then. 600 HP is the goal.
And getting into the 10s would be perfect.
Okay.
Now
I mean, the minimum.
let's
is 600,
remember
but
it is
yeah.
a independent rear suspension M3A. It from a true drag car,
It's not set up for drag.
right? It doesn't.
now.
I don't need to be.
Suspension wise.
Right.
I don't need to be like a drag car, but I'm going to put big tires on the back, and
She's actually already got some pretty good meats on the back.
yeah. But I'm talking like drag tires.
For the set.
Like
you're
I'm talking
drag
that's-
radials.
It's not a drag car that way. Correct.
Are we?
That is not the goal.
Are we talking crinkle walls here?
No. See, that's what I'm saying. It's not made. It's not the platform I would do for that.
No, you're saying
right.
it's not that.
No.
I want it to be able to go to the drag strip and roll off a 10.
Run fun.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
I'd love to be able to roll off a 10, but I do want to be able to go to autocross with it. I want to be able to
Yeah.
take it to a track
I
day.
was going to say if
You
we
owe
could
me a
build
10-second car.
Yeah.
See, and this is
You're
where I'm
welcome.
at, where I do love the drag strips, but I am so much more interested in a track day car.
Yeah, grid life. I love a car we could take to grid life.
So
I'm,
so where was drift in this? We had go around corners and we had drag and burnout. but
Well, we have if we have burnouts and we have corners,
You should be able to drift.
you can combine those two things.
Well, so the only difference really then
Again,
is your
you-
steering angle.
Yeah, you
So,
have a lot
I mean,
of
you can
shoot
say
specific
if you have a good-
components that are going to be specific to
If you have a good high performance
those
car,
directions.
it should be able to do well at the strip, on an autocross course, and then really the only difference from that to a drift car is your steering angle.
Right. And I look at it and go, I want to be able to go to all of those events, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I want to be able to take it to,
Not gonna lie to you, my priority is more at the drag strip.
like, I want to be able to go on a long trip and be somewhat comfortable on it and say, hey, let's go to LS Fest and have a couple guys hop in it and go and not be like, this is brutally horrible.
Bimmer
so
Fest?
back
Right.
seat.
Right?
Yeah.
Whatever it is. I want to be able to do that. And I
Not
want to be able to go rack
necessarily.
off a 10. Right? I want to be able to daily driver if you wanted to, rail off a 10. And if we want to go do some autocrossing with it, if we want to go do some donuts, if we want to go do a track day,
So
let's
to
be able
boil
do
it
that
down,
too.
essentially we're looking for a good multi-purpose
All-rounder.
vehicle.
Yeah.
We're looking for a jack of all trades, or a Betty of all trades, I guess.
Yep.
No,
Well played.
No, the first thing that we're really all thinking about is the power, right? So the only thing that differentiates each of those specialities is suspension, essentially, right? You need power for all of them.
Yep.
But if you want to go at the drag strip, your suspension setup's going to be different than if you want to go drifting or autocrossing. Okay,
Yeah.
so I think that
Power
is-
delivery too a little bit.
That is kind of a separate conversation. We still need to figure out the power plant and drivetrain.
So, like, basically what you're saying is what's our initial setup? Is what you're saying? What should our initial setup
like you
be?
could go
Ugly
NA
Betty
with
Mark 1.
right. You could go.
I think that should be probably drag strip with.
we could go NA,
NA
Yeah.
nitrous.
and we could all See, I was gonna say we could go NA and always add nitrous.
Two tanks.
The
big
The
ones.
big ones.
We could also do supercharger.
Gentlemen,
Right.
we've forgotten something that is so important in Phase 1.
Stickers.
Phase
No.
1. He's back to Phase 1. We're in Phase 2.
Diamond plate floor plans.
You know what?
Diamond-
No, okay.
diamond plate
No. He
floor
That's
pans.
the point.
just nailed it. It is our civic duty to actually cut
Our
out
moral obligation.
moral obligation to cut
Moral
out
obligation.
what I should make sure you understand are actually perfect condition floor pans in this car. There is no rust on the underside. They are solid and
Yes,
good.
they are.
It is our moral obligation to cut them out and replace with diamond plate steel.
So I'm going way off subject here. What Fast and the Furious type BMWs were in any of those movies? Because I cannot recall one.
There was an M5
There was orange one.
and
Yeah.
Too
Fast.
Fast, Too Furious.
Oh, there was an M3 in Too Fast, Too Furious.
That's our
It
car.
was an
I thought it was
E30.
an
It was an
M5.
E36 M3 GTR.
There's
It
an
was
M5, I
in
swear.
Too Fast, Too Furious. There was no M5. The M5 was an orange one. It was in Four Fast, Four Furious.
That's the one I'm thinking of. The
That's
orange
the one
one
you're thinking of.
Yeah,
Yep.
that one. Yep.
So the
Yep.
E3, even though it's an E36, that we should mimic at some point.
That would be actually really cool to do, like a dip job livery on or something, vinyls or
So, back to phase
some
two,
other
right?
temporary. But anyway,
So Phase 2, we're talking LS.
Yep.
We're talking how many turbos?
So if we do NA, we can if we go with NA header system, stuff like that, intake tray, right?
Right.
It's really easy to add a blower later, whether it's a root style, twin screw.
my vote is always
go-
for a root style.
Right.
I am a sucker for.
It's not a
root
big
blower.
chain like the header, the exhaust. The hard part on that car, from everything I've researched, is getting the exhaust stuff figured out
Yeah.
from a room perspective.
Sure.
So that wouldn't change from going from NA to one of those if we wanted to do it
Right,
like
right.
phase 2, phase 2.5.
Yep.
If we're going to do turbos, that changes completely.
The whole
You might as
thing.
well just figure out the exhaust for turbos on day one.
Yep.
If we're going to do turbos,
Okay.
right? If you're not going to do turbos, do a blower or a supercharger or an A. You can do that in kind of phase 1, phase 2, phase 2.5.
Okay.
Or you can add nitrous in there too. If you wanted to.
Nitrous. Yeah.
So what's the vote then?
What do you want to do? Now,
I mean,
blowers,
what's the like,
blowers
if we
are
prioritize
expensive,
it?
right? I don't know of a Chinese blower I can buy on eBay for $300.
No.
I can
No.
buy dual Chinese Turbskis for $400.
$6.
Yeah, Chinese
Yeah.
choo-choos.
Yeah, the Chinese choo-choos.
Yeah.
Which I expected to have a flag on the back window that had, America because LS,
Yeah.
German flag because BMW, and China because of choo-choo.
Yes.
And a good
That would be- that would
nitrous
be
is
good.
probably somewhere in the middle. A good nitrous system.
Yeah.
To do it well
not
and not
ter-
blow yourself up.
But
Power
nitrous
per
is-
dollar, nitrous is
But
one
I
of the
mean,
cheapest
nitrous
things
is
you can
really
do.
is
Right.
really only set up for the drag.
Yeah, you wouldn't use it on the autocross or the
No.
corners.
I mean,
No,
so
not
but when we want, yeah, clearly we want initially drag is the first idea because A, it's super local.
It's
And
the
B, they do a
easiest.
ton of local
it's the
events.
lowest barrier to entry.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
But wouldn't we still want to consider not having to do a bunch of deassembly and reassembly?
That's only for doing turbo. If you decide any other forced injection, we can do it a day. It really comes down to, do you want a blower on the top of it and have to do a lot less plumbing work?
man,
Or
we've
yeah,
got
just
that,
go for simple NA
Or
first,
just go to simple NA
because
and
it's easier
go for 400 horse on day
and to
one.
build a car that's
For the
just
tuner shot.
fun and see how it goes first. See how it drives.
Has it been decided?
I don't know.
I don't hate it.
You don't hate what?
I mean, so here's the thing. I'm a supercharger guy anyway. So to me, I think it
Well,
makes sense to get off the ground NA because then it's easy to add a supercharger later. Your exhaust setup doesn't change. And what he's not wrong at all. The hardest part about fitting this engine in there is going to be figuring out where the exhaust goes. That's where there's the least amount of room. So if we got to send them forward for turbos or back for NA or supercharged, that's kind of a big deal.
I don't want to redo that.
It's pulling the entire assembly out to redo if we change our minds.
So what's the best setup, I guess, for not just initial stages but future stages? Like what we want to accomplish. We want it to be an all-around car. What's the best?
As much
what
as
is-
I hate to say it, turbo makes the most sense
I
long
have-
term.
I'm a turbo guy, man.
So am I.
I'm not.
Every car I drive right now has a turbo on it,
But
other than
it-
my wife's Mustang.
Don't you want to hear that thing blow off?
No, I like the whine.
Phrasing.
I like the whine. I like supercharger whine more than I like turbo sounds.
They're both great in their own ways. Kind of depends
They
on
can.
the
So
application.
basically, we're not going to do NA. Is what we just
I
decided.
think,
no
I think we
NA?
have just decided
Everybody
that.
likes the sounds of a supercharger or blow-off valves.
Yeah. I mean, it's technically easier, but long term,
Yeah.
and especially for what we want the car to be.
Supercharger's not that much harder either, though. As long as we can fit it under the hood, which with the cowl on
We've
there.
got that cowl on there.
I think we
and
can-
honestly,
I think we put a big old blower
I'd
on
like to
there.
say that we're all in agreement that the cowl has to stay.
with a blower.
Does
It's
it?
got to stay.
I would like to take credit
It'll- it'll-
for
it'll
seeing
be-
the beauty of that first.
It'll be corrected.
That was me.
It'll be fixed. It'll be proper.
Someday.
But it has
That's
to
phase
stay.
3.
Yeah.
Cosmetics is phase 3.
Maybe even phase 4. We don't know.
Yeah. Burnout's in phase 2.
All right. So
That's why I'm stoked for
ultimately,
cosmetics.
we're talking LS.
Boom.
And we're talking forced induction of some type.
Yeah.
So
I would say like
aluminum 6.2 with a big blower.
I would say like
Oh, so on board. Holy cow, so on board.
I'll start shopping for the motor. Somebody start. The hard part will be finding a good deal on a blower. Like
found,
turbos, you can find
I
cheap.
found a way in
You can find
blower.
turbos for cheap.
So let's do this. Let's do this.
Found a way in blower listed on Facebook.
Here's the deal.
I want-
Let's do this. 1A is turbo.
Yeah.
1A is turbo because I think it fits from a setup standpoint. It does fit what we want the car to do, and B, it fits what also everyone watching this. We don't want to spend a S ton of money on a supercharger. Yeah, well, I mean, it would be sweet.
I mean,
I
Rob
mean, even
stuff
I
in
have to admit
Fast and
that.
Furious.
You would have to. But I mean,
Steal stuff, right?
1B,
in our black
1B
Civics.
is essentially a supercharger. 1A
Yeah.
and 1B.
I mean, the trick part about that is thanks to the Chinese aftermarket, we can get 2 turbos, decent size,
For half the
For-
price of a supercharger.
for half the price.
That's why I'm saying 1A,
Because
1B.
to me, centrifugal supercharger is out of the question. It's just not worth it. You don't get the sound. You don't get the performance.
But we have a local builder in Grand Rapids, Torque Storm. That would be cool to represent. Dual Torque Storms. Out of the
Dual.
hood.
All right, that I would be on board with.
Totally going crazy with that.
That
like
I would be on
turbos
board
out of
with.
the hood, 2 of them.
If-
but really superchargers.
If we could figure out a partnership with Torque Storm to dual supercharge,
Guys,
I'm
I
just
might
doing the math
whoa.
right now. The numbers are flying past.
I'd be so on board with that.
Okay.
It definitely has to be forced induction. Let's try to find motor first, because we can start mocking up motor in the frame and everything else.
So we got motor, we got forced induction. So I guess stay tuned for what we decide, whether it be turbo or supercharged or good
Yeah.
God, dual. If we can get a sponsorship for dual superchargers,
You'll
even
see
if
it
it's-
right here.
even if we, I mean, just whatever. Oh my goodness,
His brain is literally melting right
is
now
melting.
thinking about this.
That'd be kind of cool.
that would be sexual.
He's aroused.
I am very aroused. Very aroused.
I'm so glad you're sitting closer to him than I am.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not. Okay.
All right, so we got that figured out. Now we've kind of kicked around some ideas offline about transmissions.
So that's the next
before.
question. Transmissions.
So we all want the stick, but there's a cap on money stuff, and putting a T56 to this is going to be kind of cost prohibitive for what we're looking to do for the rest
And
of
if
it.
we're going to try to make big power, you really need to go with, like, even better than a T56.
Yeah. Essentially, that's going to be like that'll be like the dream long term.
Which
So
I guess
for now,
automatics are-
we're going to have to go with an auto, just for cost efficiency.
Also better for the direct strip. If you want to launch good.
Yeah, to be honest, yeah,
Nice and soulless.
but quick for
In a-
whatever
in a
that's
straight line.
in a straight
true.
line.
Yeah.
So, but consider that just a step.
Yep.
Right.
It's something that can be modified in the future.
Yep.
It is. I mean, the dream is a great, 6-speed stick connected to something with 1,500 horsepower, and maybe
No,
someday,
you don't
maybe someday
you
we'll
don't
get
need
there.
1,500 horsepower.
Well, nobody needs it.
If you're
but you
drag
don't
racing,
want it?
maybe 1,500 horsepower. But
But
for
I
a
want
track
it.
day, you don't.
I want
1,500 horsepower.
Oh, for a
is too
track
much.
day, you don't. Yeah.
Too much.
For a road course track day, you got to worry about overheating and a million things
Right.
with too much horsepower.
Right.
Still want it.
That's my
But-
concern. Like, I'd be totally happy with
Still
just a
want it
great
because
NA motor that puts out
1,500
good
horsepower.
power with a stick that would be really fun at the track.
Yep.
A well-balanced
I
car
wouldn't- I
that's
wouldn't-
got good power.
Yeah, I would not.
That's reliable because you don't got to worry about boost or anything blowing up your motor.
Yeah, but you can always turn
But-
boost down.
That's not a recipe for a drag car.
That's the
either.
thing about forced induction
So.
is you have the potential for up here, but you can also tune
Turn it
down
down
to here.
Yeah.
That's true.
And
Like
depending on what ECU
That's true.
setup we go with, we can actually like almost make it push button, man. Like this is the drag setup. All
Sure.
however much boost we can make,
Yeah.
tune for that, and then at the track
And
day,
you just crank
tune
it down. Yeah.
to this. So
Yeah.
that's neither here nor there. But
Yeah.
just for simple cost efficiency, we're gonna have to go auto to start.
Yeah.
I don't see another way. Unless, I mean, God forbid, we find some amazing deal on a stick that'll work for us.
Sure.
I'm on board.
If anybody wants to find like a DCT,
That won't
that's
satisfy.
that
maybe
won't maybe easy to retrofit into a vehicle.
Rob's not a numbers guy. He's
Don't
just
hear
a
that much.
stick guy.
But those
all
ship
about
away.
the joy, man. It's the
that is
joy.
what it's going to be.
It is.
Satisfying. Clunk, clunk,
I
you
do
know.
enjoy that every time
Honestly,
I drive my car.
I mean,
Yeah.
if we're being honest here, it'll probably be like a 4L60 or 4L80E to start.
Yeah.
Yeah, 480 should hold the power,
Yeah.
right?
And if we come across a really good deal on something better in the future, I think we're all on board with an upgrade, be it to something that can handle more power or a stick or whatever that.
Well, if we're biasing towards
could
a
be.
drag strip,
And a manual make or not
is the highest priority
So I
of
think
the
I think
cars.
the thing about
That
that,
makes
man,
more sense.
I would.
I think
would
the
call
thing
the
about that-
initial priority.
that-
That's what I mean. Yeah,
that
like
none
if
of us
that's our
have
goal
actually
initially,
really discussed is availability, right?
4L80s are everywhere.
Not that event availability. You can go to a test and tune every week. You
Yeah,
can
all
hit the
the time.
drag strip
Yes.
every week.
Yes, you can.
Finding an autocross is a little more spotty.
Yep.
Finding an autocross that we can go to and actually
we
make.
need
No, I
we
mentioned
need a
this
hangar
is more
with
spotty.
a giant airfield.
Oh
on it.
gosh, yes, we do.
We can do whatever we want whenever we want.
I mentioned
Why don't we just have
that
an airfield?
we have a local drag strip, so we're
Yeah.
obviously
Yeah.
that's going to be easier to get to. They run more.
That's the thing. So I think
It's more,
I think
yeah.
it makes a little bit of sense to kind of design and tune around that. Now I still want the Betty of all trades. I do.
If you half the stuff, right? Like LS Fest and Good Guys and Grid Life and Power Tour,
Power Tour, yeah. Yep.
Drag Week. A lot of those things have drag events with them, right? They're drive places, drag places, drag. Some of them have autocrosses or road courses,
Sure.
but most of them are geared towards the drag side.
That's the
So
thing. That's
on
where I
that
think-
front, that is probably the thing we should lean towards.
And above
That's-
all else, even if the car is terrible at everything we want it to do, but
Build the
we still
burnouts.
get to go out and have fun in a car that we kind of built,
No, we'll
I'm
have
totally
basically
cool
built.
with that.
Well,
Yeah.
they built it. Yeah, not even basically, not even kind of. This is our build now.
Yeah.
We're undoing.
There's nothing
We're
in the
undoing
car.
things.
The
we're
Bavarians
doing
built some of
things.
it in there, and they'll probably
They built
retain
the
some
frame at
build
this
quality.
point.
They had
But,
some. They had some good ideas. We'll keep the good ideas.
But again, like I said, if we go out and it runs like 19s in the quarter mile and it
won't.
can't
It won't.
autocross,
He could be
It
in the
still
engine
would
bay
be
and it would do
fun.
19s.
to go out, it still would be fun to go out and do car stuff with a car.
it'll be the best.
Regardless.
That's what we're looking for. That's what we've always looked for
That's
with
the
this
dream.
project car.
Yeah.
That's where this is
It's
going to go.
keeping the
is-
automotive spirit alive.
It's
right?
to do car stuff.
Yes,
And that's
to
why
do
we've
car
talked
stuff.
about drag strips, autocross, drift. We've talked about all of it
Yes.
because we just want
love
to
them
do
all.
car stuff with the car.
Yeah. With
And
our
that's-
friends.
That Ugly Betty represents freedom,
Yes.
America.
automotive freedom.
Yeah.
To go to all of the events,
America.
do all of the things.
This German car represents America.
Thank you, Germany.
Well, there we go.
And
Yeah,
I guess
and beyond that, we're talking aesthetics, and gosh, that can change with the season.
So excited.
and I think it should. I mean,
So
honestly, I
excited
think
for
we're
that part.
probably gonna lay.
We're gonna be leaning pretty heavy on you for like some good liveries.
Yeah,
But-
where's my picture?
Some wide bodies.
But it's yeah. I mean, so we've
Yeah.
beyond the bodywork fixes. I would say everyone wants to wide body because race car.
Yep, I've always wanted. Well, there's been a.
I love big fat.
There's livery that I've
It
always
just does
wanted,
it.
right?
They just look
They
good.
look amazing.
Yeah.
Especially
I want
on
a
an
car with that.
Especially on an E46.
On an E46,
It looks so good.
Yeah, they do.
And also, I mean, the car itself, from a distance, is passable right now.
Right now, yeah.
It's
to
very-
be fair, there are a lot of
it's-
race cars like that.
And if we're going fast enough,
It looks fine.
a distance is everyone's gonna see.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the exterior condition is very livable right
sure it
now.
looks the
That's
best
why
from
it
the
kind of
back.
takes second
Yes.
seat
That's what it looks
actually
to
pretty good right
drivetrain,
at
obviously
that
making
hole
it
that I
run
cut out.
and making it run
Well, we'll
fast.
fix that.
So we'll get that stuff sorted out first, and then we'll just kind of we're gonna play.
Right.
Honestly, we're gonna try different things. We're gonna first fix the bad bodywork, different fender flares, front fender flares, different bumpers. We're gonna fix the hood, make that actually proper and strong and straight like it's supposed to be, and then we're gonna change the color time and time again. We're
Try to
gonna
make sure all the
different liveries.
all the panels evenly aligned as
Excited
much
to
as
build
possible.
some like ducting maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Into the body for like brake
Scoops
cooling.
everywhere.
You know, some brake cooling ducts in there.
And I
Because
honestly,
race car. So,
I think we had this idea, and I really think from a final concept, or at least an initial final concept of when the body work is done how we want it to be, is that we do the mathematician meme style writing on it, or even
Oh, we start that on day one.
or
We're gonna
or
be
even
writing
like
all over
actually
her.
that's not a bad idea. Like not that, but like the
rubber paint
markering,
pen.
like the process of what we're doing.
Yeah.
I think is brilliant.
That starts on phase one, day one, when we all show up to start ripping into it.
yeah.
Is we
We're
start
gonna be
date-
marking her all up.
date, time, quarter mile time, what we have into it money wise, and then from there on we document the history on the body of the car.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant. I think it's brilliant. Sure. And then if on a final paint job or dip job, figuring out a cool way to
Incorporate that.
incorporate that would be
make it into
brilliant.
a vinyl and just stick it on.
That's probably what that'll end up
Yeah.
to be, because I'm not that good with an airbrush, and I don't think any of the rest of you
Ooh, I
are.
know
So if
somebody
you
though.
want people to read it, you just make it in vinyl.
I'm a
It'll be
sucker
easy
for
and-
graffiti art too, so I mean,
Yes.
just throwing that out there.
It is a BMW.
yeah,
I love
They
graffiti art.
embrace that.
yeah. Yes, they did.
Kinda excited about like a real classic.
Hope you guys are
Golf
as
for
excited as we
Martini,
are.
But
I don't know if you can
Anyways.
tell, but
We're pretty
very
damn excited.
Yes, I'm very aroused.
That got awkward.
Yeah, I might have to go.
Listen, I'm still thinking about the dual superchargers.
Oh, dude, twin torque storms would be out of this world cool.
Sweet. Who's gonna wrap us up?
Thank you so much for watching us ramble on and on about our new project car. As you can see, we are super excited for this. There are so many directions we can go, so many things we can do. We've said it before. It's a blank slate. It's wherever we want to go. This is a free ticket, man. I mean, this is whatever we want to do, and that just makes us so excited. So please follow along with us on this build. Like the videos, subscribe to our channel so that you can get updates and notifications for all these new videos that we're going to be putting out about this build. And we'll catch you on the next one. Thank you for watching.
See ya.
cheers.
Send us LS parts.